Hi, Kayla. I'm so sorry that it took me this long to get back to you. I didn't realize that I hadn't gotten back to the online students yet on their designs. It's been kind of a hectic time for me, and I apologize. With the next one, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I'm taking a look at your file, and I'm noticing that this is a linked file. I think I'm actually might be missing it. If you want to have linked files in, you have to embed them. But I would say with this is maybe, do try to make this vector either by image tracing it, which would be the faster way, or like you could draw over the top of this. Here's the linked file, so you could lock it down, you could create a new layer. Oops, what did I just do? I'll Command Z that. Let's see, linked file, let's make another, I'm trying to make another layer here, but I think I might have made another path. My layer. Okay, here it is. Here's the new layer. So we could put it just right on top of that linked file, maybe, if I can get to the right place. It keeps on goofing me up here. I might need to expand my bar a little bit. Here. Okay, I'll do it in sections here. Okay, so I'm going to work in layer 5, and then I can lock this down, and then I can just, zoom in, and maybe use like, either like the blob brush tool works pretty well, or you could, maybe use the pencil tool. You could also use the pen tool if you wished, but you could just kind of start by outlining, this bird. I'm doing a really crude job, and you could even simplify it from what's here. But you could, draw the shape of the bird. Okay. We do have different shapes here. And then we can, create an outline maybe. I'll put a stroke on here. And maybe just object, let's see. So go to the white arrow tool, go to object, expand. Okay. And then maybe take this, make sure that gap detection's on, push OK. And then just draw lines through all of this to make it a solid shape. So that I did that with the pencil tool, but you could, maybe it might be easier with like the blob brush. And I'm just drawing lines just to kind of bring everything together, because I had a couple different lines here that I was working with. So I'm just going to bring them all together, clean it up a little bit. I don't know what this is. I've got a couple extra stray anchor points. I'm just going to draw lines through those, zoom in, go around. So you could put a base layer down first, let's say that, and then you could start building over the top of that. You could build the beak, move it over, build the eye, move it over, maybe put in some feather details, some darks and lights, maybe make it a little bit different than what you got there. And then that could be your bird. It would be more hand-drawn that way. I really like the building that you have here. I like these flowers that you have. These ones are quite nice. The grass, I'm not as sold on the grass. I like the fence, I like the background, but this grass is just, I'm not sure about it. I almost wonder what it would look like without it. So I'm actually going to remove it for now and just see what's going on here with this. I'm not sure what it is about the grass that I don't really like, but I think I might like this better without that. Let's see, do I have any brushes in here? Okay, I thought maybe you might have a scatter brush. You could potentially make a scatter brush with like this graphic here. Move it over here, open this up, drag this in, scatter brush, okay, and then, I don't know, let me make this 180, not too far off. I don't think we want that to be too big. Maybe the spacing could be, the size could be quite a bit different, I think, and let's see. Okay, so push OK, And then let's try to make, oops, am I on the right thing here? Okay, here we go. And then we can also double click and edit with the preview now. And we can change this size. Might need to be, this is still, okay. You know, so you can use the preview check after you've drawn to really kind of dial in your settings. And we probably want to make this, let's see here. If you put it on random, that does allow you to do more with the sizing. Rotation, yeah. You can experiment with some of these drop downs for sure. And if you use something other than fixed, you get a few more options as far as you get the 2 sliders to work with, so you get more of a range to work with. So, I mean, you could apply to strokes. Okay, so, you know, we could try adding in just a couple, you know, like this. Make sure this is on top. And even with this, you could do Command-C, Command-V, copy-paste it over here, and then I could zoom in and then use, you know, the white arrow tool to get certain colors and even just change the color so that we get a little bit more variety. And maybe even just change the graphics slightly too, like maybe change the flower shape, like delete all the flowers and then put different flowers in there, or just change the flower shape, or just change the color on the flower. So we could use, you know, I'm not quite sure, maybe, you know, maybe this color, and then make a brush out of that and bring that in and do a scatter brush, and then do several layers of brushes. But overall, I do think this looks pretty good. I would say maybe this line right here and this line here needs to be cleaned up just a little bit. That might just mean that you have to bring that ahead of that, and this over ahead of that. That might be a layer issue too, like, so let's see, where am I at? I might need to move my scatter brush up on top of something, or put it in the same layer so that it comes up on top. Same with these, they might not be able to be moved because they need to be moved into a different layer. Because if they're, so this path here, I might have to move it up into here. And then I can end up bringing that ahead of everything, so that I can bring it on top. When you have your, okay, I see. So, never mind. I didn't see how you had that built. I apologize. Okay, so one thing, yeah, just need to clean this up a little bit right here. That might just mean just moving this over a little bit and like maybe dealing with this gray line here that's kind of, and then there is a line here. We might need to use the white arrow tool to push shift to open that anchor point up, and then just kind of bring it such like this and just kind of clean that up just a little bit. And then there is an issue here that I noticed too. You know, you might, it's just a matter of using the white arrow tool in a lot of cases. I would actually delete some of these anchor points too on here. Oh, there's a white line there, so maybe get rid of that. Just clean this line up a little bit. You know, zooming in, getting close is always helpful. Let's see, what else? View, I'm going to put it in presentation mode so that I can see it. Yeah, and if you did do any kind of grass, I would just make it the same color green as this and just put it here you know, just to add a little bit of like rough, like where the grass is coming up around the building, and then maybe like a little bit here and here, and like just to kind of make these look a little less clean so that they're not just poking out of the ground like that. Also, positioning the flowers and such in a way that you're kind of covering up some of that might be a good idea. Just seeing if this could potentially, I wonder if that should be moved up from the bottom a little bit, just because it was kind of close to the bottom. This, I might have moved this up too far because now I can see the bottom of those, but yeah, I think maybe getting rid of that grass, doing something with this eagle so that it is more hand-drawn looking, and then, you know, cleaning up the shapes on the building here and around the bottom, and maybe even some of these lines here might be going a little too far, and you might just have to arrange certain shapes to bring them on top of those lines so that they're over top of them. And then maybe think about, you know, maybe using a scatter brush of flowers, and you can make really small flowers. You could even use your, if you still have your file that has your, and I don't remember exactly how yours have turned out, but if you still have a file, actually I kind of like this is nice. So yeah, maybe consider using that more. But anyway, I think overall it's nice, but I would just get rid of the grass, clean up the lines around here, redo this so that this is more of a hand-drawn eagle, and just work on kind of refining the edge of that as well, and maybe move this up from the bottom a little bit, and think about making a scatter brush for different foliage potentially. Other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. I really like the color scheme that you've come up with as well, and I don't mean pretty good, I mean actually this looks really nice. I really like it. So anyway, we'll talk to you soon.